snack you should try.
What do you call two witches sharing an apartment? Lesbians. What? No, broommates. You call them broommates.
Деревня! Нас зовут Ольга Николаевна. Auf Wiedersehen.
Finally, I make a tutorial on my, quite possibly my favorite Witcher character of all time, Triss Merigold. I mean, this was bound to happen eventually. I'm just surprised I haven't made a tutorial for this character sooner. And for that, I apologize. Life has been really up and down for me a lot here lately. It's not that I haven't been cosplaying. For those of you who follow my social media accounts, I cosplay, or I try to, at least like 2 times a week. It's generally like towards the end of the week or whatever. But my college semester ended recently, and I did quit my job. I'm gonna get another job, obviously, but so I have free time, and I figured I would make a tutorial, especially since I recently just made this lovely dress out of scratch, or from scratch. So it's about time I made a tutorial for Triss. For those of you who follow me, like on Instagram and TikTok or Twitter, you know that Triss Merigold she's my Kenny. I'm not really a cosplayer who, I have cosplays that I'm like, ooh, I feel really good in this, but, like, there aren't very many characters that I particularly ken. In fact, I don't really even like that term. But Triss is very, very special to me, and I've already made a tutorial for Yennefer and Ciri, so of course I had to do Triss. You know, those are the main 3 Witcher ladies in The Witcher 3, you know, those are the ladies everyone obsesses over, so of course I had to make a tutorial for Triss. I'm just shocked I haven't done it sooner, but again, life has been crazy. I might look a bit different, and that's because I got a new phone. I think the camera quality, not that my last phone had bad camera quality, but this one is definitely a lot better. I think it handles the lighting a lot better, because there are times where, like, I struggle where, like, this light will completely just white out my face, but no, this one, it doesn't do that, so that's nice. If you would like to know how I put this dress together, I will link my Instagram in the description. If not, I'll pin a comment, and I'll have a link to it. And you can check my story highlight where I show you the process of how I made this. Now, I don't typically make my costumes. If I do, it's usually from articles of clothing that are already made, and I just sort of put them together. I actually hand sewed pretty much this entire thing, and it's not perfect. Like, I already have a rip in the skirt because my fat ass ripped it, and it wasn't sewn very well. But for my first time, I think this is pretty decent. I think it looks pretty cool. So if you're interested in maybe even trying it out, or, you know, just seeing how I put it together, you can go check out my Instagram. Yeah, without further ado, I hope this tutorial is useful to those of you who plan on cosplaying Triss Merigold. There aren't very many makeup tutorials for her, which is very strange, because there's, like, lots of cosplays of her, but there aren't that many, like, makeup tutorials for her, at least not here on YouTube. I did do my eye makeup a little bit different from how I normally do Triss. I usually put a lot more gold, and I usually do a bit more eyeliner in the tear duct of my eye, but I decided to do a little bit different, and it looks alright, I guess. But anywho, If you have any questions on how or where I bought the wig, this necklace, earrings, whatever, even just whatever, you can ask me down in the comments, or you could just like ask me on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and I'll answer it. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and show you the makeup.
Alright, so this is the first time that I'm actually doing a voiceover, so I'm sorry that it's bad. I am filming this on my phone. Yeah, and I don't know if you can hear, like, the background noise, because I was playing some music. Hopefully it's not an issue with YouTube. If it is, then I'll have to, I guess I'll have to re-edit this video and re-upload it to where there's no sound completely in certain parts. Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to play non-copywritten music over the part where I'm doing the makeup so I don't get in trouble, I guess. I know YouTube is really strict on the whole copyright policy, which I get it, I guess. But anyways, as you can see, I'm brushing my hair back, and I'm being very thorough to have it tucked behind my ears. My hair is actually red. It's an auburn red, which is the color that Triss's hair is canonly described as. It was described as a chestnut auburn color in the books. And I would honestly use my hair to cosplay Triss. I don't like using my actual hair for cosplays, but I love this character so much that I would use my hair for this cosplay. But it's not very long. Like, I can't really, like, I can barely put it in, like, a bun or a ponytail. It's not quite there yet. Maybe whenever it gets a bit more longer, maybe armpit length, I could style it like that. But yeah, I'm being pretty thorough and putting my hair in a wig cap. It's not really a big deal, honestly, if there's strands of hair out, because, again, my hair is red right now. It's not quite as red as the wig, but I don't think it would really be an issue. But I don't like the feeling of my hair not being tucked under a wig cap whenever wearing a wig. I don't understand people, like, even people with, like, really short hair who, like, don't wear a wig cap when they wear wigs. Like, I could never do that. Like, I don't care if I'm, like, almost buzz cut bald, I'm gonna wear a wig cap. And it keeps the wig from sliding around, because I do typically pin my wig down. Oh yeah, you can see that I'm vibing to the music, which I'm gonna try and cover up. Hopefully you don't hear that shit. So to start off, I don't like wearing concealer. I don't really see a need to wear concealer. I will if my skin is breaking out, but other than that, I really don't like wearing that. So I'm going straight into doing Triss's mole that she has on the lower, I believe, right side or left side. I don't know. It's really hard because the camera's flipped. And yes, that is a marker I'm using to do Triss's dots, or her freckles, her dots. Yeah, you can actually buy, like, brown pencils or, like, brown eyeliner and do that, but I like the effect that a marker has, and it's just a simple Crayola marker, and I'm just dotting it in random patterns, and I'm smudging it, and I think it looks pretty damn realistic. Every time, like, I do freckle makeup and I go out in public, people actually think that it's, like, real freckles. So that's my method. You don't have to follow it. Really, you don't have to follow any method or any product I use in this video. I just want to put that out there. Because every time I make a tutorial, I keep getting, like, some 12-year-old telling me, that's not how the character looks. And it's like, I've been doing makeup since I was, like, 12 years old. I'm now 20 years old. I don't need help with doing makeup by some child. Thank you very much. So if you don't like the way that I do my Triss makeup, that is perfectly fine. Like, I really don't care. Cosplay is meant to be fun. It's meant to be enjoyable. I shoot for accuracy whenever I do my makeup. So if you think that I'm inaccurate, just know that I, like, actually spend hours studying a character's face. Oh, and as you can see, I am adding freckles on my chest. You don't have to do this. This is just, like, a little detail I decided to add. And putting a little bit on my neck. Yeah, I like doing that because Triss in the book actually has a chest scar. She has a really bad burn mark on her upper chest, like right below her collarbone and on her upper breast. And I believe they mention the scar in The Witcher 3, but they never really provide an explanation for it. Personally, I like to think that she has like a really strong illusion to cover it up. And that she still has the scar. It's just like it's just an illusion. Or hell, maybe she found a really good healer and she was able to heal the scar. But yeah, if you'd like to do scar makeup, I have seen other Triss cosplayers do scar makeup for Triss. You can totally interpret that. I plan on doing a book accurate version of Triss eventually, and whenever I do that. I'll probably wear like a dress that has like a really high collar, but like I might have a couple photos or videos of like her chest scar thing. Anyways, so I'm basically just showing off the brushes that I'm using. And most of these brushes are just crap that I found at Dollar General or something. I don't really I'm not really I don't believe that like it really matters what type of product you use for makeup or brushes. Like yes, obviously some are better than others. But like really it depends on how you apply stuff. Like you don't have to have the most expensive brand of eyeshadow out there to like have good eye makeup. Like you literally just have to understand how to apply the eye makeup. Because, I mean, like, yeah, the cheap stuff is a bit harder to use, but, like, it's good practice, especially if you're new to makeup. Anyways, so I'm basically showing off, some of the products that I'm using. And honestly, it doesn't really matter. Like, any highlighter, any contour, any, like, blush will work fine through this character. It really doesn't matter. Don't feel pressured to go out and buy like the same crap I'm using, because again, most of the makeup that I have is either stuff I just randomly buy or is just given to me. Oh, and that big orange thing that you see like right next to the camera, that's actually that's just like mascara. Yeah. But I'm focusing very hard, and I'm getting my makeup out. I believe that's my lipstick bag. Yeah, okay. This scene, I'm actually debating on what type of lipstick I use. Triss has, or at least in The Witcher 3, which is where I base the way her makeup is done, because, you know, it has the best graphics. She has what looks like, she looks like she's wearing red lipstick. And I like red lipstick, I really do. But I think I look weird with it. Like it just I feel like I look like a damn clown. So even though I'm showing off red lipstick and I'm clearly very focused and debating it, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. I'm actually going to be using a brown lipstick because I feel like it just brings out my my features a bit more. But hell, if you don't want to wear lipstick at all, like you just want to wear like lip gloss, or if you just don't like the feeling of makeup on your lips, that's fine. I just like to do it because it makes my lips a bit more pouty. It gives them a bit more volume. And don't mind me just talking over the copywritten music again, so I don't get in trouble with Mr. YouTube. Or Mrs. YouTube, I guess. I don't fucking know. But yeah, I am clearly debating on what eyeshadow and whatnot. And as you can see, this is just cheap shit. Like you don't need fancy makeup to do good makeup, you know? Like it clearly helps and it makes things a lot easier. But if you don't like have the money to buy like $50 like highlighter or some shit, don't even worry about it. Like no one is going to make fun of you. I've never had anyone ever make fun of my what products I use for makeup. Except for when I was in the anime community. I had people like make fun of the way I do certain characters' makeup. But you know, the anime community is also really fucking toxic. Yeah. Sorry I'm cursing a lot. I know like there are a bunch of kids subscribed, but like I don't care. I'm 20 years old. I'm not going to babysit you. Um and yeah. As you can see right now I am struggling with a pin in my dress. That just and I thought I actually ripped the dress, but I didn't. It was one of the pearls falling off. But going in with a just like a normal brush, I'm going to sort of powder my chin and my cheeks with blush. Because Triss does not have even skin. She has blemishes. Her skin is not perfect, which is also another reason why I'm not concealing my skin with any foundation or anything. So even if you have like acne, that works fine. She does not have perfect skin, and that's another reason to love her, because I don't know, she's so fucking beautiful. But like, yeah. And with a, I like to call this a barrel brush, I'm going in and I'm just darkening my cheeks. And remember, whenever contouring, actually go upward on your cheekbone rather than downward. Trust me, it'll make your face a lot more slimmer. It'll give it more, it'll just make, see, like, it'll make your, cheekbones more defined, and that's ultimately what you want to do. So focus on going upward and not so much going like straight across, but kind of going in little circles, kind of up and down. And see, it's already more defined, and I only used a little bit of blush. And you don't really have to focus on going into the hollow of your cheek. You actually don't want to do that, you know, unless you want to look old, I guess. Just focus on the top of your cheekbone, like the actual bone of it. And as you can see, I'm contouring my neck a little bit. This is just to make my jaw a bit slimmer, and stand out a bit more, because I have a very small chin, and I feel like I have a turkey neck. So, I'm like to do that. And as you can see here, I'm going ahead and putting on my necklace. I don't really like putting on my jewelry until I'm done with my makeup. Oh, and right here, that's my little brother, Jack. I'm yelling at him because he's annoying me. Yeah, I still live with my mom right now. Haha, I'm a college student, can't afford my own place. But yeah, I don't like putting on my jewelry until I'm done with my makeup. So you won't see me put like my earrings or anything else on, until like I actually put on the wig. Especially dangly earrings. I don't like doing that until after the wig's on, because I've had several times where like I'll yank my ear, because I put on an earring and then I put my wig on and the wig gets tangled up in my earring. But yeah, for contouring Triss's nose, you don't have to have it super defined. Just sort of focus on the crevice between the eyebrow and the eye, or yeah, the eye. Yeah, that sort of part. I don't know how to describe it. And then I'm just going over it very lightly with the barrel brush, and sort of blending it in a bit more so it's not super dark, you know. I don't want to make myself look like a crack addict. You want to look very youthful for Triss. In the books, she was described to be in her early 20s, I believe. And in the games, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she's actually in her early 30s in the game. So she's a lot older. But I mean, come on, 30 is like not that old. It really isn't. But as you can see, I'm just going back over my cheeks to make them a bit more defined. See? You gotta focus on the cheek, or on the bone of the cheek. And I actually won't do highlighter until I'm done with everything else. Because I found that if I do highlighter, like, before I do my eyebrow makeup, or my eye, or... Yeah, I'm in the bathroom now. Because I gotta do my eyebrow makeup. And what I'm actually using is fucking water paint. Don't worry, it's not bad for your skin. It comes off super easily. Most of the time whenever I do my eyebrows, I actually wear, like, face paint. I literally use face paint for my, eyebrows. And I've seen cosplayers where, like, they'll put, like, glue over their eyebrows, and then they'll, like, redraw it. And if you want to do that, that's fine, but, like, I don't really like the way it feels, especially whenever I try and, do facial expressions. I find that my makeup breaks a lot easier, and it's just really gross, and I hate it. Because whenever I get out of cosplay, I actually usually just sit around in the house with whatever makeup I have on. That, and it's a bit more of an anime thing. Triss is not an anime, so sorry to you weebs, out there, but no, she's not an anime girl. And actually, in The Witcher 3, her eyebrows are very, very red, and I've seen other cosplayers, do that, but I'm actually using brown, because I think it, like, makes more sense, because she's a ginger, so why not use brown, brown eyeshadow, or whatever the hell you use for her makeup. But that's just me personally. I think the red eyebrows look a bit goofy. It looks too anime for my taste. And it's just kind of unrealistic. And I have a strong belief that when doing makeup, your eyebrows should at least be one shade darker than whatever wig you're using. Because, like, I've seen cosplays where it's like, let's say you're wearing, like, a pink wig and you do, like, your eyebrows pink. Like, you want to have your eyebrows be a little bit darker than your wig. Because naturally, eyebrows typically are darker than your actual hair. And it just makes them more defined. It makes your features a lot more defined. Trust me, it's just more appealing that way. But yeah, for my eyebrow makeup, it's pretty simple. I'm just brushing it straight forward. I have a pretty monotone face, or when it comes to eyebrows. So I usually just do them straight. I don't really worry about arches or whatnot. But you do your eyebrow makeup however you want. Eyebrows should definitely go with your face. And as you can see here, I'm struggling with lighting. Because my phone doesn't really sit up very well. I'm literally setting up against my light. And I'm actually using white face paint here. And don't worry, it's by Merigold. It is 100% safe to use on your eyes. I have never once had an incident where my eyes were uncomfortable because of this makeup. Trust me, it's fine. This is perfectly safe to do. It's not dangerous at all. I would not use any real, like, paint on my eyes. Only face paint that is safe to use on your eyelids. I'm just sort of going over, and this will make my eyes a bit more defined, especially whenever I do eyeshadow. It'll make it pop a bit more. Also, I forgot to mention this before. If you want to wear contacts for Triss, you definitely should put that on before doing any of this other makeup. In the books, Triss was described to have blue eyes, but in The Witcher 3, she has green eyes. And my eyes, as you can see, are a certain shade of green. So I'm not wearing contacts at all for this cosplay. Whenever I do the book accurate version of her, I'll pretty sorry about that, my grandpa called. Anyways, so, yeah, I forgot what the fuck I was saying. Oh, for the book accurate version of Triss that I will eventually do, I'm pretty much gonna do the makeup exactly the same. I'm just gonna wear blue contacts, because her eyes were described as blue. Um, yeah, trust me, this is perfectly safe to do. You don't have to do this if you have your own style of doing Triss's makeup. Um, and again, this is sort of based on how she looks in The Witcher 3 rather than The Witcher 1 or The Witcher 2. I would love to do a version of how she looks in The Witcher 2 or The Witcher 1. So maybe I'll do a tutorial on that eventually, because I think I will do my makeup a bit different for that. I don't know, maybe I won't. I don't know. For The Witcher 2, I would still do the makeup like this. But hey, if you want to do it differently, then that's totally up to you. You should do makeup in a way that brings out your own features, because, you know, people look different. People have different bone structures. People have different skin colors. You should wear and do whatever products fit your face type, you know. And I'm going to go in with just a simple, like, brown eyeshadow and just a fluffy brush. And I'm going to go in with the crevice of the eye, the very back, I guess, and I'm just sort of brushing it up to my eyebrows. And I'm getting really into the crevice of it to make it more defined. And see, it pops a lot more. It's a lot more noticeable whenever you have white face paint on your eyes. So that's what I'm doing. Just to bring it out. And I am pulling my eye a bit so I can get into the crevice. I find this a lot easier to do. And it makes my eye makeup a lot more defined. And whatnot. Because, like, if you just rest your face and put on eyeshadow, you don't really get into the little parts of it, you know. It's just kind of clunky, you know, and it's just, yeah. But this is my method of doing it. I'm sort of pulling my face in a little bit of an upward position because, you know, Triss is pretty youthful. So, making myself look young, even though I'm not old. But yeah, I'm leaving the white part, around the, around the tear duct. Sorry, I forgot. Sort of there. But as you can see, I'm going in with a gold eyeshadow, and I'm just going to pat the sort of center of my eyelid. And I'm leaving a little bit of white there just so there's like a nice little highlight. And I'm just patting that down so there's a little bit of a nice gold shimmer, because I like to think Triss wears a lot of gold. And sort of how Yennefer wears a lot of silver, I like to think Triss is sort of the opposite. My makeup is very much like, if you haven't noticed, it's very much brown and gold based, because I feel like that's what best goes with, at least my features and when doing this character. But if you have another method, by all means. And before any of you guys ask, yeah, that was a little bit of a Critical Role lo-fi I was listening to. I'm just going to talk over it. I don't think that song or that little lo-fi thing is copywritten. In fact, I think lo-fi generally isn't copywritten, but I am not going to risk it here on YouTube. So as you can see, with a little black eyeliner pencil, I'm just going into the back, and I'm just trying to get under the eyelid to sort of define it a bit more. I'm not really focusing on dragging the wing out too much, and I'm just going over the bottom of my eyelid just a little bit. I don't like going over completely the bottom of my eyelid because my eyes water that way and it just smudges. Here I am drawing the eyelid, or the wing out a bit. Don't worry about it being too perfect. I'm gonna go over it with a liquid eyeliner, or not a liquid eyeliner, but a gel-based pen eyeliner thing, whatever you call it. I call it liquid, but you know, whatever. So to sharpen it. But here I'm just doing that. And again, I'm pulling my face a little bit in the upward position because if I don't, it will be smudged and it just won't look good. So yeah, and yeah, I'm going over, as you can see, with the little pen, and I'm just sharpening the wing a bit. If you want to do one of those really dramatic e-girl eye makeup, you can. Personally, I don't like that makeup, especially when it comes to characters like Triss, like medieval fantasy cosplays. It really doesn't fit. I can understand, like, if you're, like, an anime cosplayer, I can see that, because it's very much Japanese sort of inspired makeup. But I don't really like the style of that makeup. So my wings are typically pretty small, and they're just sort of based in the corners of my eye. Usually I will go over with a little bit of pencil into the tear duct of my eye, but I didn't want to do that because I had white face paint in the tear duct. But as you can see, I'm going over with mascara. If you'd like, you can wear false eyelashes. I think that would look fine for Triss. But I have a love-hate relationship with false lashes. I like the way that they look, but I can't find a fucking pair that, like, will actually stay on, or every time, like, I put one on, like, the glue just ruins my eyeliner. Maybe I'm just not using the right brand, so if you guys, like, have any brand suggestions that I could try for false lashes, I would be happy to do so, but until then, I'm just not messing with that. I would rather use just mascara. And I'm focusing more on the eyeliner part, so it's not too clumpy. I did mess up a little bit. You'll see in a minute on that eye. But you know what? I will be literally the only person who notices my mess ups when it comes to makeup. And so will you be. I guarantee you that, like, especially when it comes to eyebrow and eye makeup, you are going to be the only one who really notices. So don't stress about it being too perfect. It's not going to be perfect. See, I got a clump right there. I'm not even going to care. But another thing I'd like to point out is, usually whenever I do my feminine cosplays, I will put on some sort of, like, fake nails or whatnot, but I decided not to do that for Triss, because even though she's a very beautiful sorceress, because I am basing this more from The Witcher 3, yeah, she's more hard at work, and there is actually a scene where her nails get ripped out. No spoiler. And yeah, that's the nude brown lipstick. I forgot the brand. It doesn't really say the brand on it. But I prefer using that rather than red lipstick for Triss. Again, I'm basing a lot of this with brown and gold because I think I look better with brown and gold. Like, I look all right with red lipstick if I'm, like, wearing, like, a black wig or something. There's a nice contrast, but whenever I'm cosplaying a redheaded character, I usually stick to more nude colors. So yeah. And I actually prefer using, like, the actual lipstick rather than, like, the liquid lipstick, because I always make a mess with the liquid lipstick. That, and I have an issue, like, every time I use it, I just, like, I mess up and it stains really easily. So yeah. And now this is the part where I'm actually going to use highlighter. And as you can see, I'm going a little bit on my collarbone, and I'll go a little bit on my chin. my nose, a little bit on my eyebrows, and oh my god, look at all that dust flying around. And of course, the most important part will be the upper cheeks. It just makes them a bit more defined. This is also a good way to sort of pat down and blend the freckles in a bit more to make them a bit more natural, I guess, or natural looking. And I'm using 3 different brushes when it comes to highlighter. I take my highlighter very seriously, as you can see. But yeah, and just like when contouring, I focused on the the actual like bone of my cheek. And I'm brushing it upwards, almost into my eye. It just makes it more defined, and I'm sort of patting it, so it stays there, and there's a nice little, it's just a nice little touch. I know, like, a lot of people don't like highlighter, so if you don't want to wear highlighter, you don't have to. That is fine. This is something I like to do, especially with the way I edit my photos. I think it brings out my features more. But now you will watch me as I put on my wig and my earrings. If you have any questions about where I buy any of my products and whatnot, or if you want to see a video of how I styled my Triss wig, because I see a lot of people, a lot of Triss cosplayers seem to struggle with doing a bun, her little buns. And believe me, I know whenever the first couple times I cosplayed her, I had a lot of trouble, so I actually just did like pigtails. But I finally figured it out, and I think it looks all right. So if you guys would like to see a video on how I styled her wig, let me know and I will. Other than that, the only pin that I use is just on the side to sort of keep it down, so you don't see the wig cap. And I usually pull out a bit more flyaway strands, but I didn't feel like doing that this time. So yeah. And then I go in and put earrings. I always wear gold dangly earrings for Triss. I think it really looks nice for her character. And I don't know, I have an obsession with gold jewelry right now. But other than that, I hope you guys liked this tutorial for Triss. Triss is a character that means a lot to me. She's probably one of my, if not my favorite video game romance of all time. She's definitely one of my favorite cosplays to do. I really enjoy cosplaying her, so yeah.